Sticking with Brent Venables, Tyler, who do you feel like has the higher expectations this year? Brent Venables in his first year in the SEC, or Mike Gundy now that Texas and OU has departed the Big 12?
Well, just for me personally, looking at the schedules, looking at where both teams finished last year, I think the it should be clearly Mike Gundy. Oklahoma State, to me, stands out as the favorite in what should be a very competitive Big 12 race this fall. The odds makers disagree. Oklahoma has four time or Oklahoma is four times more likely to make the national championship according to odds makers than Oklahoma State. Their win totals, the over under for both teams is 7.5. I, you know, I don't know if that's right for Oklahoma, but I'm shocked it's that low for Oklahoma State. I don't know. Again, I think the public, I think the national perception would say Venables has higher expectations, but I just can't understand that. For me, I expect a lot more from Mike Gundy's team.
When I think expectations, my mind kind of more so shifts to the word pressure. And I think that the pressure is definitely more on OU and Venables. He just got this contract extension Friday approved by the OU Board of Regents, where he got a modest raise and 2 extra years on his deal. And when that was initially reported, ESPN was saying that it was a significant raise. And there was a complete national media freak out because you had all these people on the national landscape thinking, what is OU doing paying Brent Venables this kind of money when he's only been the coach for 2 seasons and that first season was really, really rough? Like he hasn't proven anything yet. And you're going to give him all this money on the doorstep of the SEC instead of after he has proven some things in the league for a couple of years and had some success. Well, it ended up not being that significant of a raise. But it just shows you like how loud the naysayers already are and how ready they already are to, call it OU fakers or to call Brent Venables, a faker and say that, he's not going to make it as a head coach or that he still has a lot to learn about what it takes to be a head coach. And I think there is some truth in that, right? I mean, last year was only his second year as a head coach. We saw an evolution where he was better with the some of the game management details than he was in his first year as a head coach. But it's definitely from a pressure standpoint, the pressure is more on OU. It kind of feels like OSU in the new Big 12 that, Tyler pointed out, they may not be as high on the national radar, but they are, it feels like they're kind of playing with house money because there is somewhat of an expectation of like they could be the kings of the new Big 12 if everything fell right. And it just feels a little bit psychologically easier for them, I think, than it does for OU.
Yeah, I actually, Tyler is right. The odds makers who know what they're doing, by the way, are taking advantage of an ignorant American betting public that don't know that OSU has 18 returning starters and made the Big 12 championship a year ago, and now Oklahoma and Texas are back. So this is prime opportunity for OSU. This is a big year for the Cowboys. Mike Gundy faces a massive rebuilding season in 2025. This is the year when OSU can strike. Most people in this part of the country know it. Everyone in Stillwater knows it. Mason, you're right in that the pressure is always on Brent Venables. If he was coming off a 3-9 season, he would face high expectations. But the playoff is, while maybe hoped for, in Norman and maybe even expected, it's not the typical Sooner season where it's almost a divine right that they're in the playoff hunt. Therefore, I think the expectations for Gundy actually are higher. This is a very strange season, and that's part of it. There's 18 starters returning in such a wide open Big 12.